The International 7th China Helicopter Exposition in Tianjin in October 2025 revealed China's ambitions in aerospace and rotorcraft. At its very beginning, it was disclosed that more than 450 helicopters manufactured by Russian companies are currently operational throughout China's extensive territory. The high number of heavy-lift Mi-26Ts and versatile Ka-32A11VS helicopters, along with many Russian models, mainly the Mi-8 and Mi-17 family, shows how much demand there is for these aircraft in China, and highlights that China's own industry can't fully replace foreign designs yet. This video investigates the origins of this dependence, the reasons for the ongoing development of Chinese heavy-lift rotorcraft manufacturing, and the indigenous types that have arisen as the sector has matured. The Russian Mi-8 and Mi-17 family, which has approximately 390 units deployed nationwide, serves as the foundation of Chinese civil, parapublic, and emergency helicopter operations as of 2025. Of these, 33 are the more modern Mi-171 type, which has been expressly certified for the Chinese market. Additionally, 40 Ka-32A11VS are included, which are essential for municipal and provincial agencies due to their adaptability in challenging urban environments, mountainous rescue, and firefighting. The Mi-26T heavy lifter, which has 4 confirmed units in China, provides essential capabilities for disaster operations in remote areas and the transportation of oversized loads. Russian manufacturers have offered the light Ansat helicopter for medevac and training, indicating the continuation of commercial ties for lighter duties. Russian helicopters are not merely legacy holdovers. They are essential hardware, robustly supported by Russian maintenance centers and parts pipelines that are now being established within China. This is evident in the sheer numbers and diversity of missions, which range from disaster relief and forest firebombing to construction and search and rescue. So the question is, why has China not fully substituted Russian helicopters? China's rotorcraft industry appears to be dynamic from a technological standpoint. It is logical that a nation that produces stealth fighters, lunar probes, and jumbo aircraft should be capable of mass-producing all necessary helicopter classes. However, the enduring dominance of Russian civil helicopters reveals more profound systemic factors. The Mi-8, 17 and 171, and Ka-32 in particular, are Russian helicopters that have established a reputation for their reliable and robust performance in extreme environments over the course of decades. Proven machines with a history of challenging missions serve as insurance against catastrophic failures when China is required to equip its mountainous provinces, fire-prone forests, and offshore operations. The risk of using domestic models that haven't been fully tested in life-or-death situations is high, especially in areas where rough terrain, poor infrastructure, or bad weather could make technical problems worse. The deployment of heavy or medium-lift helicopters that are capable of mass deployment is both time-consuming and capital-intensive. China can maintain the readiness of civil services and emergency agencies for missions while the domestic design and certification process progresses at its pace by licensing, purchasing, or locally assembling proven Russian types in large quantities on short notice. China has made significant progress, but it still does not fully control all the important systems needed to produce heavy and complex rotorcraft, such as powerful engines, reliable transmissions under heavy loads, managing heat at high altitudes, making composite blades, and maintaining them throughout their lifespan. In machines intended for firefighting, rescue, and large external loads, as well as in the heavy lift segment, with a maximum takeoff weight exceeding 13 tons, these gaps are more pronounced. Despite recent advancements, the certification and production of reliable components remain a significant challenge in scaling production without cost overruns or reliability issues. In addition to technical airframes, civil and parapublic operators require complete integration into the legal, regulatory, training, and maintenance ecosystems. China has already certified Russian models for use, and they have established spares networks and approved training channels. In these critical logistical and risk mitigation sectors, domestic Chinese designs must still demonstrate their effectiveness. Operators who are accountable for urban firefighting, rescue, or disaster coordination prioritize their track record. China is vulnerable to supply chain bottlenecks and has limited technology alternatives due to its reliance on domestic industry for all rotorcraft. Russia's partnerships provide not only operational planning redundancy, technology transfer, and localized manufacturing, but also proven machinery. This strategy is further solidified by the establishment of Russian repair facilities in China, which enables quicker turnarounds and further integrates Russian platforms into Chinese logistics. Now, let us look at China's helicopter development. The scale and complexity of China's helicopter assembly line are still expanding, particularly for enormous machines and extreme mission roles. Russian heavy lift machinery will continue to be indispensable until indigenous platforms such as the Advanced Heavy Lifter and subsequent advancements of the AC-313 reach maturity. The gradual introduction of domestic types persists, as does the necessity of utilizing established foreign models. Although China's rotorcraft sector is not yet entirely mature in heavy lift and highly specialized classes, it has developed a collection of capable medium and smaller machines. The Z-15, which is marketed as AC-352 for civil use and was developed by Avic Harbin Aircraft Industry Group in collaboration with Airbus Helicopters, is the first medium civil helicopter in China to be independently certified. It has a maximum takeoff weight of 7.5 tons and a range of approximately 850 kilometers. It received domestic type certification in July 2022, paving the way for larger-scale production, and it is capable of transporting 14 to 16 passengers. Although this is a significant achievement, it does not surpass the medium class in terms of payload or mission force. China's first heavy-lift helicopters, the Z-8 and its successor, the Z-18, are based on the French SA-321 Super Frelon. Reportedly, the Z-18A variant is designed to operate in plateau regions at high altitudes by utilizing Chinese-made engines and composite materials. The Z-18's operational envelope is not entirely replaced by the Mi-26 or even the top-end Ka-32, as it is limited by its maximal takeoff weight of approximately 13.8 tons and emphasis on shipborne and military roles, despite advancements. The AC-313 was introduced in 2010 and expanded the domestic capability to include a large civil helicopter in the 13-ton class that can accommodate up to 27 passengers. The AC-313, which is derived from the Z-8 lineage, is proof that China's designers are closing the gap in mid to heavy categories. However, its availability and mission variety are still behind those of its elder Russian competitors. The AC-332 twin-engine utility helicopter, which completed cockpit design evaluation in 2022, and the ambitious AHL program are both indicative of China's determination to compete in the heavy lift domain. Even so, these platforms are still in the developmental phase and are still several years away from widespread operational deployment. China is acknowledged as a manufacturer of military models, including the Z-20, similar to the Black Hawk, and the Z-10 assault helicopter. The rules and support needed for these military helicopters are different from what is required for the larger civil, public, and emergency missions that Russian helicopters usually handle. China's unique geographic location and civil emergency requirements significantly strain its helicopter fleet. Heavy and medium-lift helicopters with certified performance in extreme conditions are necessary to navigate the country's vast, mountainous, and frequently remote provinces, as well as offshore platforms and extensive urban regions. Through thousands of missions in such environments, Russian helicopters have established themselves as a reliable option for large-scale provincial mobility, disaster relief, and urgent firefighting. Using Russian imports, repairs, and partnerships makes sense because local helicopter models, even though they are improving, still fall short in availability, variety of missions, and support systems. The exhibition revealed that more than 450 Russian helicopters are in operation in China, which is significant for a variety of reasons. It reaffirms China's strategic decision to balance rapid operational readiness with domestic innovation cycles, using Russian technology in areas where domestic products have not yet matured or scaled. China is a high-value market for Russian manufacturers in terms of both current deliveries and long-term repair and spares infrastructure. On the other hand, we expect China's rotorcraft industry to gradually shift its import substitution initiatives. Initially, it will concentrate on medium-class helicopters, and then it will increase the production of heavier and more specialized platforms. However, it will continue to rely on imported types for its immediate operational needs. In summary, established Russian platforms offer the needed capabilities for current operations, filling gaps that new Chinese designs can't yet handle, especially for heavy lift tasks and tough environments. Simultaneously, China is making strides toward complete self-reliance through the implementation of indigenous manufacturing initiatives, including the Z-15, AC-352, Z-18, AC-313, and forthcoming heavy lift projects. The dynamic narrative of the balance between Russian imports and Chinese industrial progress is influenced by geography, the complexity of the mission, and the lessons learned from global aerospace collaboration. If you think the video was informative, please like, subscribe, and share. Please also take membership of the channel to encourage us